The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. We got a mail here about comic VTubers, so let's get to that. But before we do, we have another question. It says, "Hey Perch, who organized and plotted the assassination of President John F. Kennedy? Was there any conspiracy involved?" Probably. But the thing is, if there was a conspiracy involved, and there was some kind of deep-seated plot to assassinate a sitting president of the United States, then definitely the FBI, the CIA, they would have told us by now. I mean, they would have figured it out. These are some of the top intelligence agencies in the country, with a dedicated staff of people who get to the bottom of mysteries just like this one and give us the answers. So the fact that, look, I can't imagine a world where an organization like the FBI or the CIA would actually cover something up after all this time. There's no way. There's no way. It definitely would have come out by now, and we would have heard all about it. Definitely would have. So I think that clearly it was just an accident, just some lone guy on a hill. That's all it could be. Anyway, let's get to the other mail. It says, "Dear Perchinald Perchington." Okay. "I've recently stumbled into the world of VTubers, virtual YouTubers or streamers who use avatars instead of showing their face. The most popular type seems to be anime girls. You don't say. But there are other types. It's got me wondering why companies with 60 plus years of potential waifu material don't go in on this." Okay, well, two big reasons, but no, not those two big reasons. But let's read the mail. But I mean, I think this one's a pretty easy mystery to uncover. Unlike this mystery about John F. Kennedy, which in no way involved our own government, because that would just be absurd. It says, back to the mail, it says, "Seems like an animated Starfire or Jubilee during a weekly stream about comics would do a lot to hook in new readers, appeal to an older audience." Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little creepy how they do that. And not cost too much as advertising campaigns go. Is it just a symptom of how apathetic management at the big two are, or are there logistics they'd have to contend with that I'm not aware of? Slightly more than I love Arby's. Just kidding. Well, I mean, of course you're just kidding, because you'd be dead. You wouldn't be writing into the show if you're eating Arby's. Well, okay, so first let me get the boring potential answer out of the way. A VTuber show where there's a kind of virtual avatar show might, and I don't think this is the case, but there's a possibility that the avatar, the character, has been licensed off to other media. So because it's an animated version, the control that falls into a different department, and there's maybe some deal was struck somewhere with the cartoon that Fox was putting out, or I who knows. So there could be a possibility that it just can't be done for legal reasons. I highly doubt that. Generally, when Marvel, at least, I know a little bit more about them, but DC as well, when they do these kind of licensing deals, they usually reserve the right to do things in the same space, like in doing the X-Men cartoon. Marvel couldn't put out a competing cartoon, but that doesn't mean they couldn't do animated kind of ads and other things for their own characters. Sure. So there's a possibility of some legal craziness wrapped up in there. Okay. Now the real reason that's going on is more likely, first of all, yes, a lack of business savviness. I would guess it's people who watch vloggers are probably some of the junior editors, people like that, and definitely do not have the wherewithal to kind of suggest something up or be able to execute on that plan. The other, highly likely thing is that these, it requires a level of kind of technical skill to both, create the channel, create the stream, get the character, all that kind of stuff. And I just don't think that, from looking at Marvel's digital efforts and other things they've done, they don't have the resources to do it. So it would require going out and partnering with somebody, and they're unlikely to do that. I mean, the smartest thing for them to do would be go find a, mid-popular vlogger, somebody who has, done a reasonable job, but doesn't really have a big career going, and hire them. And basically said, hey, we'll pay you, X dollars, not, whatever. And you can use the character to do what you want. The problem is the company, meaning Marvel DC, wouldn't want to pay much. And the vlogger wouldn't want to do it for nothing. And particularly if they were able to use a mainstream comic character as the avatar and actually get some promotion from the publisher and other things driving viewers there, then, the potential to make a lot of money is high. So they would make more than the company would want to. They would want to make money more and be in a position to make more than the company would be willing to pay. So it'd be hard to find somebody talented who would do it. And, you could make the argument, well, maybe what Marvel and DC should do is hire somebody to do it and then just give them control and give them a share of the revenue. Like, 50% of everything you make, you keep, and we'll give you some autonomy about how you do it. The challenge there is I don't think a lot of people would sign up for that deal either, because they wouldn't want to have their show micromanaged by Marvel or DC who only vaguely understand what vlogging is. And I think the mechanics of it wouldn't work. The other challenge is, while anime and manga characters have become popular and there's a lot of support within manga for this activity, the makers of the manga are way more comfortable with the idea that, they're basically creating spank material for lonely men. So, you use phrase, you have waifu materials that are being produced, and you could easily do like a character like Jubilee. Forget about it. You get a Jubilee avatar to kind of talk and do things. It would appeal to a segment of the audience for sure. Ironically, probably a segment of the audience that Marvel or DC wants, but it would also appeal to a segment of the audience that Marvel and DC really don't want to acknowledge exist, which is horny men. And so I don't know, the dynamics of all that. And if Marvel and DC came out with something like, hey, we've got sexy Jubilee out here, fun and perky, and she's going to talk about comics with you, I don't know. Would they stand behind that? I probably not. I think they'd be just skeezed out by the whole thing and would struggle with it. So that's the challenge with that idea. Technical acumen doesn't exist. Business opportunity, really hard to find somebody to do it. And then, you would have to, as those companies, you would have to face the fact that you're making content for a segment of your audience that you try and pretend doesn't exist. So that would be kind of a different problem. Now, would it be popular? Oh, yeah, it would be a good idea. Particularly, like I said, Starfire, Jubilee. Hell, you could do stuff with Donna Troy. You've got a handful of, if you want to make Miss Marvel popular, you just kind of wander in that direction a little bit. That would shut people up in a hurry. Of course, she's a corpse now, but, when they bring her back to life in a couple of months. Anyway, thanks for the question. I like thinking outside the box. Hey, if you're from Marvel and DC, consider it. Why not? If you're from a smaller indie company, you're trying to build up your brand, like, what is that Radiant Black universe that he's trying to create over there? Just, how about taking one of those characters? Try that. I can't stand those shows, but they are popular. So there you have it. Anyway, thanks for the question and thanks for listening.